Hi, I'm Maria from Read Fine Books. Welcome. In this episode, we'll discuss the second chapter of The Picture of Dorian Gray by Oscar Wilde. Don't worry, I won't do this for each chapter of the book, but I feel this chapter is the one that holds a lot of important information, and I was really intrigued by it and loved it, and I want to get in more detail about it. So let's do this. The most important thing is that in this chapter we get to meet Dorian, and I love the way he makes his appearance in the novel. He is reading some music sheet. It's Schumann's forest scenes, and ever since then I could only read the book while listening to this music. It's such a beautiful classic music. I loved it, and I feel it put me in quite a good mood, and it sets an atmosphere for the novel. The way I see it, we get from this scene his beauty and purity. As he stands for the painting, Dorian engages in conversation with Lord Henry. Engages in conversation is a bit of a stretch because Lord Henry is the one who does most of the talking. He exposes here his hedonistic views on life. Most importantly, he makes Dorian aware that he's missing out on the pleasures of life. He urges Dorian to live while he's young and enjoy his beauty and experience every possible pleasure. Dorian is forever changed. Lord Henry talks in aphorisms. They are quite paradoxical sometimes, but nevertheless they sound so good and true, and they put you in a reflective mood, but you don't actually think a lot because aphorisms tell you everything you want to know. You simply take them in and let them influence you, and they influenced me as well. I read this book a long time ago for the first time, and I loved this part. It convinced me as well to enjoy life more, and I feel the same effect on me right now. This is not a debate. Lord Henry simply tells us how to live life. I'm not sure how much of it is Oscar Wilde's view, however, but the way he lived his life, I'm sure some of it contains his own views on how you should live. And through this kind of talk, he succeeds. Lord Henry convinces Dorian that the world needs this kind of living, that the world would thrive if only more people would follow their passion, their senses, and live fully. The fear of missing out is instilled in Dorian's soul, and he takes it very personally. By the time Basil finishes the painting, he is a completely different man. Even Lord Henry himself is amazed by this result, and he can't stop admiring him. I love that, because for Lord Henry everything is just a game. So when he looks at Dorian and says, this morning you have lived since then, it's such a good observation of the way Dorian changed. Another key factor in this chapter is the revealing of the painting. The artist Basil finishes it, and upon seeing it for the first time, Dorian is struck by his own beauty. He feels that he sees himself for the first time. The sense of his own beauty came on him like a revelation. And the most important realization of all is that his beauty will fade, but the paintings will not. This is the moment that he realizes and wishes everything would be the other way around, that the painting would carry the burden of his old age and not himself. Quite an important realization, of course, and key to the rest of the book. I enjoyed very much this chapter, and I feel it sets the tone for the next things to come. Every sentence said by Lord Henry will influence Dorian's life somehow, and it was a joy reading it. There are a few of my favorite quotes in this chapter. The first one is of Lord Henry's impression upon seeing Dorian. He was certainly wonderfully handsome, with his finely curved scarlet lips, his frank blue eyes, his crisp gold hair. There was something in his face that made one trust him at once. All the candor of youth was there, as well as all youth's passionate purity. One felt that he had kept himself unspotted from the world. No wonder Basil Hallward worshipped him. He was made to be worshipped. And the next are from the discussion later on. There is no such thing as a good influence, Mr. Gray. All influence is immoral. Immoral from the scientific point of view. Why? Because to influence a person is to give him one's own soul. He does not think his natural thoughts or burn with his natural passions. His virtues are not real to him. His sins, if there are such things as sins, are borrowed. He becomes an echo of someone else's music, an actor of a part that has not been written for him. The aim of life is self-development, to realize one's nature perfectly. That is what each of us is here for. People are afraid of themselves nowadays. They have forgotten the highest of all duties, the duty that one owes to oneself. Of course they are charitable, they feed the hungry and clothe the beggar, but their own souls starve and are naked. Courage has gone out of our race. Perhaps we never really had it. The terror of society, which is the basis of morals, the terror of God, which is the secret of religion, these are the two things that govern us. I believe that if one man were to live his life out fully and completely, were to give form to every feeling, expression to every thought, reality to every dream, I believe that the world would gain such a fresh impulse of joy that we would forget all the maladies of medievalism and return to the Hellenic ideal, to something finer, richer than the Hellenic ideal it may be. But the bravest man among us is afraid of himself. And the last one, which put me in a very good mood: live the wonderful life that is in you. Let nothing be lost upon you. Be always searching for new sensations. Be afraid of nothing. And these are only a few. I loved just about every sentence in this chapter. It gives me some kind of joy to listen to such things. I think Oscar Wilde would have been a great motivational speaker had he lived nowadays, right? Tell me what you think. Tell me what is your favorite quote from this chapter, and come back to continue our talk about this wonderful book. I'm Maria from Read Fine Books. Thank you for watching.